I'm getting pretty tired of the same old menu all the time. Aren't you able to come up with any new ideas already? We should be able to provide our guests with unique dishes all the time so that we stand out from our competitors.
Hello, Barbara. I hope you're doing well. I have several new dishes that I want to add to our menu, but Benjamin still hasn't given his approval on any of them yet.
Oh, but my Benny's always so busy. You must know that by now. He's not able to take that much time out of his schedule to accommodate you. Maybe you need to think of a better way to propose your ideas to him. Isn't there a way to get his approval without wasting any of his precious time?
Of course, I try to keep that in mind when I share my ideas with him. But if he wants to taste everything before adding any new dishes to our menu, I want to make sure that he can enjoy it in the most delicious state. So I always accommodate his schedule to work out a good time for him to come to the restaurant. But unfortunately, he rarely comes at the time that we agreed on.
What are you trying to say? Are you trying to imply that Benny is to blame for this?
Absolutely not. But I just don't know what more we can do.
He probably knows that your cooking is nothing worth putting on our menu anyways. That's why he doesn't want the extra burden of having to travel all the way there only to have a disappointing meal. Why don't you come up with a dish that we would actually enjoy?
I'm confident that all the dishes that I've come up with are quite delicious and that our regular customers would enjoy them very much. So that's why it's important that Benjamin keeps his word about our meeting time. That way I can time the meal preparation accordingly, and he'll be able to enjoy the dish as it's meant to be served. I know that I've had to ask him to avoid visiting the restaurant during our busy time. There's not much more we can do unless Benjamin is also willing to give us the same kind of courtesy.
You have no right to blame Benny. Obviously, it just means that you're not putting in enough effort. You've been working for us for a long time now, right? I hope you don't think that it gives you any right to demand anything, just because you've spent more time at the restaurant than anyone else.
Of course not. I absolutely don't think that, and I'm sorry if you may have gotten the wrong impression.
Besides, why should my Benny have to accommodate your schedule in the first place? He can't just appear at the restaurant when you call for him. I've told you that he's an extremely busy man. You should at least have enough consideration to offer going to him when he can accommodate you.
That's not really ideal, since I can't leave the restaurant unattended. I know that there are other staff who are more than capable of managing everything, but it's my duty as head chef to oversee everything. And whenever Benjamin calls to say that he can meet me, it's almost always during our busy time. So, unfortunately, I've had to turn him down on several occasions because I was unable to leave.
Oh, so what you're saying is that Benny has offered to meet with you, but you've been ignoring him. He says that he's able to see you when he calls, right? So, why don't you just take him up on his offer right then? What are you doing instead?
Of course, I'm working in the kitchen to make sure that all the orders get prepared in time, with hardly even a moment to catch my breath. And whenever Benjamin has called in the past, it's always during our lunch or dinner rush, so I'm usually not able to even take his call. I've asked him repeatedly to avoid calling during those times, but perhaps he just forgets.
That's ridiculous! When he calls, you should pick up. What's so difficult about that? Benny is giving you such an easy opportunity to redeem yourself and to prove that your skills as a chef are worthy enough for his restaurant. But you still choose to ignore him? That's just too bad for you then.
But what can you expect? I've been told that my job at the restaurant should be top priority at all times, no matter what. Especially with the limited staff that we have, everyone must pull their weight to make sure that everything runs properly. I know that I brought this up with you and Benjamin more than once before, but it still remains an issue for us. We have nowhere near the number of staff that we need.
That's just nonsense. If we bring in any more staff, our overall profit will go down for sure. And you've always been able to manage somehow with this number, so I don't really see what the big problem is. Besides, it's not your position to make these kinds of decisions. Who do you think pays your salary?
I'm very much aware of that, but we're also working at full capacity all the time. There's barely even any time to take a break. I'm just asking that you consider our situation and rethink your decision about hiring more staff.
Well, unfortunately, it just seems to me that you're looking for someone else to blame for your lack of skill as head chef. And there must be something wrong with your sense of taste if Benny hasn't approved any of your new menu ideas. I'm starting to think that I've made a mistake in appointing you as head chef. Perhaps I need to rethink leaving the restaurant operation up to you anymore. If we want the restaurant to run more smoothly and efficiently, perhaps the first step is getting rid of you.
What? After all these years, is that really how you think of me? Have I not made any positive impact on the restaurant's business?
Oh, don't flatter yourself. Perhaps you need a harsh reality check, so let me be honest with you. The only reason that you're the head chef now is because you've been with us longer than anyone else. We've only kept you for all these years out of compassion.
I see. I sort of had the feeling that was the case. So I guess my assumption was correct. What can I say? I mean, I've dedicated the past 10 years to this restaurant. If I say that I'm not disappointed, that would be a lie.
You want to call yourself head chef, but you're not even able to come up with a new menu that's satisfactory? Don't forget that we can get rid of you at any time. I'm sure we'll find a better replacement right away. Keep that in mind and put more effort into what you do.
Yes, I'm sorry. And I assure you that I'll put in more effort than ever before. I'm very sorry for messaging you this late, but I just wanted to follow up on the menu proposal from the other day. When would you be able to come in and taste it? If you approve of it after the sample, I'd like to put it on our seasonal menu right away. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that. My bad. You know, I just graduated from college and it's my first year in the real world, so I've been really busy. Besides, I'd much rather be hanging out with my friends right now than having to taste some hoity-toity pretentious food all the time. I mean, why don't you try putting some wings on the menu or something? Well, I can certainly take that under consideration. Listen, I don't want to keep you from doing what you want, but I'm sure that you're well aware of this restaurant's rules. No new dishes will be added to the menu without your approval first. I know that. But you said something about using eggplant in the new dish, which I hate. I don't even want to try it, to be honest. So I might have been unconsciously avoiding arranging a time to try it. I'm sorry that it's not a favorite of yours, but eggplant is in season right now and really delicious. I tried to replace it with a different vegetable that you're more likely to enjoy, but nothing else really brought all the flavors and textures together like the eggplant. We've also been getting requests from many of our regular customers that they would like to try some dishes using eggplant. However, since we always avoid using any ingredients that aren't to your liking, there's a bit of imbalance towards the ones that we keep including. So why would you include eggplant in the new menu idea now? I've hated eggplant since I was a kid. Is this some kind of payback towards me? Absolutely not. But if we keep using only the ingredients that you enjoy, I feel like our menu will be somewhat biased. I just thought that it would be better to include a variety of seasonal ingredients in our dishes so that we can meet our customers' requests. But it's not a really tempting offer for me. I have to go all the way to the restaurant only to be forced to eat something that I know I'll hate. Don't worry, I've already taken that into consideration and prepared the dish so the non-eggplant lovers can enjoy it as well. I spent a lot of time experimenting with all the different flavors, so you won't be disappointed with what I've come up with. And I can assure you that it's delicious. Really? But it's not gonna turn me into an eggplant lover overnight. I'm still gonna hate it afterwards. Besides, my mom never made me eat anything I didn't like. Why should I have to do that for you? You're trying to force me to try it, no matter how many times I've told you that. I won't. You're just being a bully now. I never knew that you were so mean. I'm sorry. That isn't my intention at all. I was just thinking about our customers and wanting to please them first and foremost. Sure, whatever. Anyways, I don't have anything planned for today, so I guess I can go over to the restaurant. I'll be there around noon, so make sure that you have everything ready. Wait, no, that's right in the middle of our lunch rush. I won't be able to properly serve you then. Are you able to come after our lunchtime? What? So you're trying to give me orders now? Don't you know how busy I am? I'm already going out of my way to make time for you. In that case, I'll never go over there again. But there's a rumor that a very famous food critic will be in the area soon. It was mentioned in his blog recently. So we've been especially mindful of providing our best service to our customers these days, because who knows when that critic will be in here. He might even come here undercover, pretending to be a regular customer. And depending on his review of the restaurant, it'll have a huge impact on the number of people who come in here afterwards. That's how famous and influential he is. What does that even have to do with me? What difference will it make whether one food critic writes a review about us or not? All you have to do is serve delicious food, provide good service, and cater to the needs of the customers. Is it really that hard? You're right, of course. But in that case, please make sure that you keep your voice down while you're here. That's the one thing I'll ask that you promise. What do you mean by that? Well, you always like to make your presence known by raising your voice every time you're here. But that kind of rowdiness, especially during business hours, is more of an annoyance than anything. Of course, you can make all the noise you want as long as there are no customers. Are you telling me what to do again? Really, you're too full of yourself. You better not forget who you're talking to. I'm sorry if I was out of line, but it's something that affects the restaurant's image, so I thought that it should be my duty as head chef to let you know. Whatever, just have that meal ready for me tomorrow. If the new dish that you're so proud of isn't as good as you say, you better be prepared for whatever comes next. Yes, I understand. I have full confidence in it. Don't worry.
Is it really true? I heard from Benny that your new dish includes eggplant as one of the main ingredients. Why would you purposely use an ingredient that you know he hates? That's just cruel. And you want to call yourself head chef? A proper head chef should take into consideration the likes and dislikes of the customer.
Some of our regular customers have repeatedly asked that we include more vegetables on the menu, especially seasonal vegetables like eggplant. And I've always felt that we don't provide such a large variety of vegetables either, so I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity to do so. I'm sure that our customers will enjoy the new dish that I've come up with. And don't worry, I know that eggplant isn't a favorite for everyone, so I've arranged it in a way that even non-eggplant lovers will find it pleasant.
Oh, really? Because my son said that this so-called arranged recipe tasted terrible. He was hardly able to finish his plate.
That's not true, because I watched him finish everything on his plate except for the eggplant, and he seemed perfectly satisfied with the dish. But he was adamant about not even taking a bite of the eggplant because he doesn't like it. And of course, I couldn't force him to try it, so unfortunately, he left the eggplant untouched. So for now, it still remains undecided whether the new dish will be added to the menu or not.
Well, if you're not planning to replace the eggplant with something that tastes better, it's not going on the menu. At least that's what Benny told me. And of course, he has the final say in everything. Especially because this is going to be Benny's restaurant soon.
What do you mean by that?
To be honest, I'm just downright disappointed in you. You're not suitable to be the head chef of our restaurant. We don't need you anymore. You're fired.
What? You don't really mean that, do you?
Of course I mean it. Who needs a head chef that's as unaccommodating as you? As a matter of fact, I've just decided that Benny will take over as the new head chef from tomorrow. And my decision is absolute. Don't even waste your time trying to change my mind. Today will be your last day working for us.
How could you?
Perhaps you need to go and refine your palate so you have a better sense of taste. Don't forget to leave your recipes and resignation letter on your way out. Oh, and you better leave the recipe for that new dish as well. I'm sure my Benny will come up with a delicious arrangement that will definitely satisfy our customers.
I see. Then I guess I have no other choice than to resign, if that's how you really feel about me. But keep in mind that I won't be coming back here ever again.
Don't be so full of yourself. We don't need anything from such an unskilled chef anyways.
You can forget all about me and do whatever you please.
Christian, where are you? You have to come back to the restaurant right away and get the kitchen back in order. Everything is such a mess right now.
Yes, so it seems. But remember that I no longer work there, so it has nothing to do with me anymore.
Don't act like it's not your problem. You knew this would be the outcome when you quit.
Sure, I had somewhat of an idea about what would happen, but I never imagined that your son would be that bad at cooking. I read the article about your restaurant on that Food Critics blog. He really tore into Benjamin and mocked everything about him. It was quite entertaining to read.
What article? What are you even talking about? I know nothing of any kind of food critic coming here, or any article written about our restaurant.
Really? Because I certainly mentioned it to Benjamin before. There were rumors that a very famous food critic was in the area. And it seems like he visited your restaurant today and already posted that hysterical article. He wrote that Benjamin's innovative cuisine was barely edible.
But he used your recipe. Why didn't it turn out the way it should? Maybe there was something wrong with your recipe.
No, he didn't actually follow my recipe. In fact, he tried to be creative in his own way and ended up serving an utter disaster. Those were the words of the food critics, not mine. But anyways, it also said that Benjamin replaced the eggplant with jalapeno poppers just because they're one of his favorite vegetables. The food critic wrote that he sat down with the chef and talked about the recipe as if they were old friends.
Wait, so you're saying that guy was the food critic, and he wrote that blog about us? But he was just talking and hardly touched his plate.
He's known to always finish everything on his plate because he thinks that that is the best kind of respect that he can give to the chef that prepared his meal. But I guess in this case, the food was so terrible that he couldn't bear to eat it. It really makes me wonder what Benjamin's sense of taste is like. Did he even taste his own cooking?
Wait, that food critic really wrote all of that in his blog? Won't that affect our business?
I would think so. Regardless, he's known to be pretty harsh in his reviews, so he never sugarcoats any of his comments. But his reviews are always reliable, so he has a large number of followers who take his reviews seriously. I know that the restaurants that he's criticized in the past lost about half of their customers because of his bad review.
Are you serious? Why did he have to come today?
Well, at least your restaurant has many regular customers, so I'm sure you'll be fine. But don't forget that I was the one who served all those regular customers over the years. You should be grateful for that.
Actually, even those so-called regular customers were insulting the cooking and started getting really angry. They demanded to see the head chef because nothing tasted the way it should. So I explained to them that we let you go. And you'll never believe what they did after I told them. They just got up and left, saying that they'll never be back ever again.
Isn't that too bad? I never realized they had become so loyal to me, but it also makes me very proud.
Come back here right now. I'll even give you your old position back.
No, I've actually been hired as the head chef at a different restaurant now. So I'm never going back there again.
What?
They've been trying to recruit me for a while now. But I've been refusing their offer because I had my duty there as a head chef. When you fired me, it gave me the perfect opportunity to finally accept their offer, so I've officially been hired by them now. I'll even start working in the kitchen tomorrow, so I'll be ready to serve the food critic whenever he comes.
I'll never allow that to happen. Get back here right now. If you're not here to manage the kitchen, this restaurant will go under.
It took you long enough to realize, but it's too late now. I gave your restaurant 10 loyal years of my career, but you refuse to acknowledge the positive impact that I've had as head chef. You continuously insulted me and pretty much gave me no other choice than to quit. As someone who runs a business, you should never feel entitled to look down on the people who work for you. Don't forget that we're just as dedicated as you to the restaurant's success. But if you don't appreciate our hard work, you're just paving the way for your own destruction. The next day, the food critic appeared at Christian's new restaurant, just as he predicted, and gave a rave review of his cooking. He also had a great laugh about the episode at Barbara's restaurant and left with a full stomach. thanks to all the praise that Christian received in the Food Critics review, and together with the ridiculous episode in his former workplace, he became quite famous among the blogger's fans. In fact, Christian's restaurant was such a great success that it was a much talked about topic for many years after that. And of course, he brought all of his loyal customers from his previous restaurant over to his new place, where they now continue to be his regular customers again. On the other hand, Barbara's restaurant never recovered from the terrible reviews and ended up going out of business shortly after. They never felt the need to show any appreciation to those who worked so hard to support their business. So it only makes sense that they ended up losing everything. They never lifted a finger, but always felt entitled to impose their one-sided opinions on everyone. They only got what they deserved in the end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to see more content.
Hey, Thomas, you were being completely ridiculous earlier. Just because you work for the main contractor doesn't mean you have the right to look down on the people at the site.
Ha! People at the site are all losers at the bottom of the hierarchy. I was only telling the truth. There's no reason for you to complain about me.
You better be kidding me. The construction industry exists because of the workers on the ground.
There it is. You just don't like it because you work on the ground. But realistically, you get to work thanks to us, the main contractors. I suppose you don't understand because you're a junior high graduate who lacks the benefit of experience.
That's enough. How dare you talk to your mother like that?
The worst thing about my life is that an uneducated ex-delinquent is my mother.
What did you just say?
Because Dad passed away so young, I had to be raised in a single-mother family, all poor. And that mother is a boorish woman who works with men at the construction site. You would come to the parent classroom visit with worn-out clothes or your work uniform. Have you ever walked in my shoes to have a mother like you?
What was I supposed to do? We were poor.
We were poor because you're at the bottom of the hierarchy. After all, you're uneducated. I'm not like you. I'm not gonna live like a loser like you, no matter what. And to make that happen, I studied so hard to get into a competitive university, and I got myself working at a large construction company. At this point, I'm in a position to use people like you. I'm in a different position than you.
You're right. Thomas, you're amazing. You're not dumb like me, and you studied so hard. But then, a dumb person like me works hard to live too. It doesn't give you a reason to look down on how hard we all work.
You don't deserve to say that when you're always apologizing to your colleagues at the site. Every time I see you like that, I feel like crying out of pity. Pity for myself for having the worst mother ever!
You're going to end up in trouble if you keep looking down on people like that.
You can't be saying baseless things just because you can't argue. I'm not a loser like you. I worked hard to get myself to where I am today. I'm not living a pathetic life to ever get in trouble. It finally makes sense. I've been wondering all along.
Huh? What is this all of a sudden?
You're not my real mother, are you?
Huh? Thomas, what are you talking about? This isn't a funny joke.
You already know it for yourself that this isn't a joke.
You better cut this out. Why are you saying this?
You know, I'm getting married next month, so I went to see Grandma with my fiancé, and that was when I happened to find it in Dad's room. It was a picture of Dad holding me when I was a baby, and there was a different woman right next to him.
I see. So Matthew kept it all along.
So, are you admitting that you're not my real mother?
Knowing you, I'm sure you already investigated it after you found the picture.
I guess you're my mother after all. As you said, I hired a private investigator right after I found that picture.
I knew it. Did you see Shelley, your real mother?
Of course! I was shocked when I met her. She's beautiful, she's graceful, and she's smart. She's not like you, and it immediately made sense to me that she's my real mother.
I'm sure you're like Shelley more than Matthew. The way you work hard towards your goal, your facial features, and everything.
She was nothing like you, considering how you're boorish and uneducated. Of course, you've done whatever it takes to hide it. If only I knew, I would have never called you my mother. You and I aren't in the same league, so it's only natural we weren't even biologically related.
Sure, you're right.
And that's why I don't want a classless mother like you to come to my wedding. I'd rather have a talented woman like her who's just like me to come to my wedding.
I get what you're trying to tell me, but then I'm the one who raised you to this day. Even if I never carried you, or if we're not related by blood, I pride myself as your mother. I believe that there's more than a blood bond between you and me.
There's no such thing! I've always set you as a bad example. I worked so hard so I won't end up becoming a loser like you. And I earned all that I accomplished with my own two hands. I don't even consider myself to be raised by you. I'm cutting ties with you as of today. Mom, have you given a thought about what I told you the other day?
About how you wanted me to be at your wedding, right? I thought about it, and I don't think I should go.
Why not?
I mean, I ended up breaking up with Matthew immediately after I had you, Thomas. I can't be acting like a mother all of a sudden, going to your wedding. It would be rude to Ashley, too. I also don't want you to be calling me Mom. I don't deserve to be called that.
I'm sure there was a reason why you ended up breaking up with Dad. You weren't physically strong to begin with, but you ended up falling ill because you had me. You broke up with Dad so you didn't end up giving us the burden of your medical expenses.
Even then, I wasn't the one who raised you. I'm just the woman who gave you birth. The last time I held you was just for a short time after I carried you. I won't be forgiven if I were to attend your wedding as your mother, putting myself side by side with Ashley.
But you tried to take me back at one point when Dad passed away, right?
When I was told that Matthew passed away, my condition had been better, but Ashley refused.
What?
The first time I ever met Ashley, so I could take you back, she told me. She said that even if you guys weren't bonded by blood and she never gave birth to you, she considers you to be her son. She said that she didn't want me to take her son away from her. She seemed to be extremely upset. And that was when I asked myself if I have as much feelings for you as Ashley.
Oh, Mom!
And at the same time, I felt relieved to know that a woman like her was your mother. I decided it's best that you stay with Ashley rather than being with me when I've never done anything for you as a mother. The other day, when I met you, I realized I was right.
Are you sure about this, Mom? You were so happy when you got to meet me the other day.
Because I asked Ashley to take care of you, I thought I'd never see you again. So, I was truly delighted to get to see that you've become a grown adult, and I cried out of joy to know that you're getting married. There's no lie to that, but I still can't attend the wedding as your mother alongside Ashley.
That's not true. You're still my mom. You had legitimate reasons, so you don't have to be sorry for anything. So please, I need you to come to my wedding. I want you to be there during the best moment of my life.
I see. You've grown to become such a kind person. Okay, I'll attend.
Really?
Yes, I truly haven't spent any time with you to call myself your mother, though. But even then, I think I could allow myself to do my son's first favor ever in my life. I'll be looking forward to the wedding.
Mom will be attending my wedding, and at this point, you're truly unnecessary.
Mom, are you talking about Shelley? I don't even remember when was the last time you called me Mom. I can't even remember that, but I guess you're calling Shelley your mom.
Of course, you and I aren't bonded with blood, and since Dad already passed away, you're just a stranger to me. But Mom is the real mother who gave birth to me.
I see. In that case, I don't have to worry about the fact that you won't have your mother attending anymore, right?
That's right, I truly won't regret not having you attend anymore. If you get it, don't you dare show up. A fake mother who I cut ties with isn't invited, okay?
After everything you said, it's almost liberating. Thanks to you, I made up my mind. I should be grateful to you. This is great. Thank you.
Huh? What are you talking about? You kept insisting that you're my mother. Are you sure about this? Or have you gone insane because you're too sad?
Unfortunately, I haven't lost my sanity. I don't have to be considerate to you moving forward. And when I consider it that way, things aren't too bad after all.
Considerate?
Actually, they've been sounding me out about becoming the CEO for a while now.
CEO? Is this for the subcontractor that you work for?
That's right, but you work at the prime contractor, right? I've been declining the offer because I thought you'd struggle if I end up becoming the CEO. Now that you've become independent from me, I didn't need to make too much money.
Thanks for being considerate for nothing, but I won't struggle even if you were to become the CEO of our subcontractor.
Are you sure about that? It could get awkward conducting business with your mother.
I told you that I don't consider you my mother. Besides, things weren't too different until now, and there's no problem to this at all.
In that case, moving forward, we'll just work together as an employee at the prime contractor and the CEO of a subcontractor. You're completely fine with that, right?
Of course! Even if you were to become the CEO of a subcontractor, you're still at the bottom of the hierarchy. I'm gonna be even tougher on you, so you'd better be ready for this, you loser! Mom, my wedding is about to start in just an hour. Where are you right now?
Oh, Thomas, I'm sorry. I decided not to be at your wedding today.
What? Why?
I talked to Ashley. You lied to me, didn't you?
You talked to her? Why would you ever talk to that woman?
We exchanged our contacts when I tried to take you back. And ever since then, we've only spoken to each other when she was letting me know about how you were doing. But I reached out to her because I wanted to talk to her about how I'd be attending your wedding. And she told me that you cut ties with her. Do you have anything to say about this?
Well, she's not that great of a mother, like the way you consider her. She's an ex-delinquent, she's dumb, she's not educated, she's completely classless. So, I thought I won't need that fake mother as long as I have you.
Dumb and classless? Are you talking about yourself?
Huh?
As I said to you before, I'm just the woman who gave you birth. Although we're biologically related, I've lived my life without fulfilling the responsibilities as your mother. On the other hand, Ashley has raised you to this day, even though she didn't have a blood bond with you. Can you even imagine how much she struggled and suffered after making that choice?
She struggled and suffered because she's an uneducated loser, right? She's always wearing old, worn-out clothes, and she's surrounded by guys at work, and we've always been so poor. I didn't want to be like her, and that's why I worked so hard. She struggled because of her own choices.
And how was she able to afford to let you attend college when she was so poor? How was she able to afford to let you wear new clothes when she could only afford old clothes for herself? It was all because your so-called uneducated, dumb mother had been working so hard at the site.
Well...
And look at yourself, prioritizing me over her just because we're biologically related, when I'm pretty much a stranger to you. You cut ties with her and didn't invite her to your wedding. Is that really something you would do to your mother, who raised you to this day? You should be ashamed of yourself. Thomas, you're the one who's completely classless. You didn't even care to know who supported you all along. How pathetic.
Hold on a second, Mom. If you choose not to be at my wedding, though, what am I supposed to say to my fiancée and her family?
Be honest and explain to them that it was all because of your disgraceful behavior. If your wedding gets called off because of that, so be it. You should accept the consequences of your own choices that you made.
Thomas, your reputation has gone quite poor recently. I understand that you're upset after all that's happened. But you can't be taking it out on my employees.
Why are you acting as if you weren't even involved? This is all your fault to begin with. You told Mom about how I never invited you to the wedding and that I cut ties with you.
Shelley would have been confused if I weren't there without an explanation. Besides, I thought we agreed to simply work together as an employee of the prime contractor and the CEO of a subcontractor. You're not my son, and you're just an employee of my prime contractor, so I don't have to be so considerate to you.
You gotta be kidding me. I ended up in so much trouble because of you. My fiancée and her parents were asking so many questions about why my mother wasn't at the wedding. And her dad is my boss at work, too. I managed to talk them out of asking questions, but my wedding got canceled because they were skeptical about it. My colleagues are talking about how my wedding to my boss's daughter ended up getting canceled.
That sounds like a hassle, but it's not like they found out everything yet, right? You abandoned the mother who raised you, and the mother who gave you birth ended up cutting ties with you.
Shut up! Besides, you'd better make your employees get it together!
Excuse me? Are you saying that there's a problem with my employees?
Yes, there is! They all keep going against me for nothing! It wasn't like this before you became the CEO! What kind of training do you give them, really?
It's only natural. Before I became the CEO, I was the one who was calming everyone from their anger.
What do you mean by that?
I told you so many times to stop looking down on the employees who work on the ground. Did you ever think anyone would appreciate you for calling them losers straight in their face? Every time you looked down on them, I was apologizing to them on your behalf.
Does that mean the reason why you were always apologizing was because...
Because I was cleaning up your mess. I've been working ever since I graduated from junior high, so I'm a tenured employee at my workplace. Everyone was holding their anger, just for my sake.
But you never told me about this!
What's the point of telling you that I'm apologizing to everyone on your behalf? Would you have been happy to find out that your mother was going on apology tours because of yourself?
Was that why you kept talking to me about it? So, it was all for my sake?
Even though we're not bonded by blood, and even though I'm dumb, uneducated, and classless, I was still your mother. Regardless of the fact that it was your fault, I didn't want to watch you being hated by everyone. But then, it's all in the past. You'd better watch what you say from now on. You don't have a mother who would protect you anymore.
Depending on how the discussion had gone today, I still had a chance to marry her! How dare you, Mom? Are you having fun crushing your son's life into pieces?
I told you to be honest with your fiancé and her parents. On behalf of the son who neglected to do so, I chose to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Oh, give me a break! I was supposed to marry my boss's daughter! If I had gotten to marry her, I would have been promoted at work! But you ruined it all for me! What are you gonna do about this?
You're at fault for how the marriage was called off and how things aren't going well at work. You've been making Ashley take your responsibility all along, right? Moving forward, you're going to be responsible for what you do.
What the heck is wrong with all of you guys? I'm not like her. I'm not a loser. I earned everything with my own two hands. But why do you choose to get in my way like this? You're my mother. You gotta be kidding me.
You can't be whining like that at this point. You looked down on and dumped Ashley when she was the person who cared about you the most.
Are you saying that this was my fault? You dumped me too! You gave excuses about your health condition just to abandon your child, so you're not entitled to be telling me these things!
That's right. No matter what the reason was, I'm not entitled to act as if I'm your mother. I'm just a stranger who's only bonded by blood. There hasn't been a single day in my life that I haven't regretted it.
See? You don't have the right to be pointing fingers at me!
Just as I don't have the right to do so, you don't have the right to look down on Ashley. She called herself your mother to me when I was your biological parent. In that moment, I realized the difference in our awareness of our motherhood. And after how you stepped all over Ashley's motherhood, I can't possibly forgive you.
But then, you can't do this to me! If I don't do anything about this,
You told Ashley that you never wanted a mother like her, right? I agree with that.
Huh?
Your mother was supposed to be me. I would have loved you as your mother. I know that I wouldn't have let Ashley beat me when it was about that.
Oh, Mom!
But if I were your mother, our family relationship would have been corrupt a lot sooner. I didn't have the level of motherhood that Ashley had, and if I were to have been treated the way you treated her, I would have given up a lot sooner.
But I would never do that to you!
Maybe you were rebelling against her because of being in a poor single mother family. But it's only natural for anyone to rebel against their parents, right? And I don't think I would have been able to face you the way Ashley did if that time came.
Well...
And that gives me a reason to explicitly tell you that you never got to be with the parent you wanted to. But the fact that you got to be with a mother like Ashley should have been more valuable than anything else. You never realized it. You never learned anything. You're the person to be blamed for everything. That's all I have to say to you as a stranger who's only bonded with you by blood.
Thomas, I'm sorry. They said they can't take this anymore.
What is it now? What does anyone want from me at this point?
You've been humbled down quite badly, huh? I guess what Shelley said to you is affecting you quite badly.
So you knew!
Shelley reached out to me a while back. I heard your marriage was called off.
That's right. After I cut ties with you, my biological mother ended up cutting ties with me. Go ahead and laugh if you want. This is how things ended up after looking down on you all along.
I won't laugh at you because it's not fun laughing at you right now. Anyway, I'm sorry to tell you when you're all sad, but you might end up losing your job. I'm sorry.
What?
It seems like everyone was holding grudges against you after all that you said to them, and my employees all became furious after they found out about how you treated me. They ended up filing complaints about you to your company.
Complaints?
That's right. You've always treated the ground workers poorly, right? It seems like they were secretly getting ready when I never realized it, and they decided to file it with your company.
Hold on a second. I'm already in a bad enough position after my marriage was called off. If they would complain about me like that when all of this is happening...
I mean, even though you're the prime contractor, you've been quite ridiculous to your subcontractor. An employee who acts like that would only be a risk to your company. You're lucky if you only get fired, but you might end up compensating for what you've done, too.
Compensate? Why is this becoming such a big deal?
You've been looking down on other subcontractors too, right? I heard the other companies will be filing a complaint about you after seeing how we did so.
Oh my!
I also heard that there are some companies that plan on cutting their business relationship with you guys too. I'm sure your company will be taking a huge loss, so I guess it's only natural. I've been keeping things under control until now, but it's all happening now that I'm not doing that anymore.
You're kidding me! My marriage was called off and I'm about to lose my job! And are you saying that I'd have to pay compensation? I've been trying my best not to become a loser like you all my life! Why? Why is this happening to me?
It's because you kept looking down on others. It's fine that you were setting me as a bad example so you could live a better life. But then, just like how you've worked hard, everyone else is working hard too.
Are you telling me that this is happening because I never thought of that and chose to look down on others?
You should have learned your lesson long ago when I was talking to you about it. I know it can get annoying when your mother nags you about things. But that's exactly why you would end up hurting if you don't listen. I hope you learned your lesson.
Lesson? This lesson is costing me way too much!
You don't have to pay me for the lesson. I'll make you a bad example for myself. You've always looked at me as your bad example, so I guess this makes us even. A flood of complaints poured in, not only from our company, but from other subcontractors as well. On top of that, the cancellation of his engagement to his boss's daughter further complicated his position. And so, Thomas was fired from the major general contractor. As I had told him, several of the subcontractors who filed complaints decided they would no longer work with that company. The resulting damage was substantial. In the end, not only was Thomas dismissed, but he was also sued by the company for damages. He became infamous in the industry for all the wrong reasons. These days, I hear he's juggling multiple jobs, working day and night, all just to pay off the compensation he owes. On the other hand, as for me, I've been super busy working as the CEO after I cut ties with Thomas. I don't have to be on an apology tour to clean after Thomas's messes anymore. I've been busy, but I feel content as I work in a better environment than before. As I'm not too experienced as a CEO, I'm getting a lot of support from others as I live. Shelley, Thomas's biological mother, has been medically doing well. But she can't live without someone else's support, and those who support us are being supported by others around them. I want to cherish what I learned from this time around, and I'll continue living as I consider Thomas a bad example.